I declare this ceremony for the presentation of graduates and for the admission to the honorary fellowships of Goldsmiths College open. Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Althea Efunchale, and I'm a member of the council here at Goldsmiths College. On behalf of Goldsmiths Council and governing body, I'm delighted to welcome you all here to our ceremony today. Welcome to our students, graduates, soon-to-be graduates, and welcome too to the families, the friends, the loved ones who have supported you on your journey from student to graduate, or on the completion of your master's degree or doctorate. All of you here today can be so very proud of your achievements. All those late nights and early mornings of study, all those looming deadlines that caused you stress, all of the hard work that led you here. Well done and congratulations. Today marks a very special milestone. It's one of those watershed moments like moving into your first house or getting married or buying that first car. Each of you now has an important new qualification that you can add proudly to your CV and which will open doors for you. But you've gained a lot more than that. You've gained Goldsmiths fine-tuning. You've sharpened your capacity to think, to reflect, to analyze, to question, to be curious. These are skills and capacities that I hope you will use every day for the rest of your life. I think it was Marshall McLuhan, a Canadian educator and philosopher, who said, "A point of view can be a dangerous luxury when substituted for insight and understanding." How true. And when we turn on the news these days, we certainly hear lots of points of views, but all too rarely accompanied by insight and understanding. You have spent your years at Goldsmiths gaining insight and understanding. I'm looking to all of you in this room today to continue to reflect, to analyze, to question, and to be curious, to ensure that you continue to face the world with integrity and a quest for yet more insight and understanding. In short, I'm looking to you to make this world a better place. No pressure. Many of you also have friends and family here today. Today is as important for them as it is for you. Mothers, fathers, carers, family members, and friends who have supported you through years of hard work, tight budgets, and food parcels, and who are now looking forward to proudly displaying that photo of you wearing your robe and cap on their sideboard, or at least on their mobile phones and iPads. As well as your family, here today will be people who have studied alongside you, some of whom will be your friends for the rest of your life. Look after them and cherish together your memories of student life at Goldsmiths. Today is the gateway into your future life. You, new graduates, are our future, the thinkers, innovators, artists, entrepreneurs, and workforce who will shape our world and be the leaders of our future. Success doesn't always come very easily, and I am sure that during your years of study, there will have been challenges that sometimes caused you to falter. But you overcame those challenges, and you're here today. Today is a day of celebration, a day which brings your hard work to culmination, and a day when you reach the final destination on this part of your student journey. I hope that this is a great and memorable day for you and for your family, and I hope that after this formal ceremony, you will join us in the marquee on the college green to raise a glass or two to your success. My warmest congratulations to you all. I call upon the Deputy Warden to deliver her address.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to you on this rather dreary but exciting day, almost certainly a day that you'll never forget. 2017 has been a year to remember for so many different reasons, and perhaps for some, a year to forget. I urge you to fix this moment of celebration in your minds as one of the defining moments of the year. Soak in the atmosphere, enjoy this time with your friends, take hundreds of photographs. When you look at them in 20 years' time, you'll remember this unique moment in life with pride, and I hope with warmth. I suspect many of you will be wondering where time went. I hope you've made the most of every minute of being at Goldsmiths, and in the process discovered who you are as an individual. Indeed, Oscar winner Steve McQueen described his time here as one of experimentation, of finding himself. Self-discovery is often a winding road full of obstacles. It's not a straight and narrow path. During the course of the day, take a moment to think about those obstacles that you've overcome and all that you've accomplished in this process. As the old proverb goes, a smooth sea never made a skillful sailor. It's perhaps a fitting quote, given the era in which we find ourselves. I know that Goldsmiths graduates have the tenacity, creativity, and sense of purpose to tackle whatever the future holds. You may be emerging into a tilted world, but thanks to all your hard work, you are equipped to do something about it. Take advantage of what you've learned at Goldsmiths, from your tutors and from each other, and make a positive change. The world certainly needs you all right now. In other words, I hope you look back with pride and look forward with confidence. You are now part of a community some 60,000 strong around the world. It's a community bound by one shared experience, having been awarded a precious thing, a Goldsmiths degree. You are now one of a remarkable group, a group which includes some of the world's greatest thinkers, artists, musicians, and performers. Brian Molko, Anthony Gormley, Mary Quant, Linton Kwesi Johnson, Katie B, Bridget Riley, Shazia Mirza, and of course, 3/4 of the band Blur, to name a few. The roll call will be familiar to you, and I hope one day my successors will be saying some of your names in this very hall. So here we are in this extraordinary space, where over 150 years ago, the sons of Royal Navy officers proudly paraded in what was then an open quadrangle of the Royal Naval School. Prince Albert himself laid the foundation stone in 1843. This great hall was created when it was roofed over in 1891 and purchased by the philanthropic Goldsmiths Company. Their idea was to bring higher education to one of London's poorest boroughs. That ambition remains valid today. We also want to make a life better in our neighbourhood and to make a difference. Earlier this month, our local MP, Vicky Foxcroft, raised in Parliament research by a Goldsmiths academic into the air quality in South East London. Most high-end research universities are located in leafy squares, usually close to a cathedral. New Cross is no museum or privileged enclave. Blur bassist and now celebrity cheesemaker Alex James likened it to screaming tyres rather than dreaming spires. But we are proud to be here at the heart of one of London's most dynamic, diverse and modern communities. We like to celebrate that as often as we can. In the summer, we joined with Lewisham Council to lead 40th anniversary celebrations of the Battle of Lewisham. It was a moment in 1977 when our communities joined together to take on and defeat hatred on our doorstep. So this hall has seen many such celebrations, as well as other occasions and events. But as you know, it's also been the scene of much trial and tribulation. Many of you will have sat nervously in this very room a few months ago, faced with an exam paper. Well, now you have in your hands your degree brochure to look at with pride. And we are proud of you. After all, we are a place defined by our graduates and their successes. Indeed, there is a deep sense of familial pride when news reaches us of our graduates' successes. Our alumni have reached the top of their professions and have the trophies to prove it. Amongst our former students are 7 winners of the Turner Prize and winners of Ivor Novellos, Emmys, BAFTAs, Olympic medals, and Mercury Prizes, not forgetting Academy Awards, of course. Recent graduates are making waves too. Our filmmakers have won Royal Television Society Awards and been nominated for BAFTAs. Our music students are signed by music labels. Alongside these moments, our graduates have been rated among the most employable in the UK by employers. You leave here ready for the world of modern work, and I hope you can influence the world as much as it influences you. So go forth with confidence, but don't forget to write home once in a while to tell us how you're doing. Today is also a day to reflect with pride on the achievement of our fantastic lecturers. We count among our faculty some of the most distinguished professors from across the globe. They are the people who write the books, make the films, and create the artworks. Just this year, our academics have won literary prizes and been shortlisted for the Turner Prize. We're so excited about the ever-growing dynamic community of young scholars here in New Cross. You may even consider further postgraduate study with reduced fees for alumni. But if for now you'd like to take advantage of a more contained opportunity for further learning, there are also our short courses, bringing the Goldsmiths learning experience to an even wider audience. But of course, there are other reasons to keep you coming back to campus. The Goldsmiths Centre for Contemporary Art will open in autumn 2018. This is a really exciting project. We're establishing a major centre for the arts in South London, bringing in internationally renowned artists to New Cross with free exhibitions for all. We've been so good at sending practitioners out into the world that we thought it was time we closed the circle, bringing artists into Goldsmiths to help further enrich our ecosystem. Then there's our campus cinema, Curzon Goldsmith. At the moment, they're showing this ceremony, which must be one of the most important screenings of the year. And don't forget our weekly range of free events and exhibitions. There's something every single night of the week: lectures, recitals, concerts, gigs, as well as readings by the authors who enter our flagship Goldsmiths Prize for Innovative Literature. So as you commence the next chapter of your life, please try not to be a stranger here at Goldsmiths. As alumni and friends, you will always be a part of the Goldsmiths community. Membership comes with a host of benefits, especially over the next 3 years, to support you as you commence your career. You can continue to use the library if you ever want to see that place again. Ominously, you get an email account for life, providing a direct digital link to the college, and you can access support from our careers service. Each year, we're doing more and more to ensure our alumni feel part of Goldsmiths wherever their journey takes them. Our Alumni Ambassador program goes from strength to strength, reuniting alumni from Sao Paulo to Tokyo. Our friendly alumni team will be in the marquee later if you want to find out more. So please do keep in touch to make the most of being part of this unique community. And keep in touch with each other too. I know real and lasting friendships will have been made. It's taken a lot of hard work for you to be here today, and as your teachers, supervisors, and families know, you have also been hard work. This is a very special day, not just for you, but for the people who worked hard and often sacrificed a lot to help you be here. So students, please be upstanding, and I'm going to invite you to applaud your families and all of the staff here at Goldsmiths. So you can sit down now, and don't worry, all of the rest of today's applause will be entirely about you. So I repeat again, look around you, look at your friends and fellow graduates. You have built a remarkable kinship with these people which will last a lifetime. Goldsmiths is a beacon institution with values shared by all in its communities. And the wonderful thing is that everyone who studies or works here is in their own way a beacon, going into the world to share their knowledge and help make the world better. You are all remarkable. You have done wonderful things in your time here. And amazingly, you're only just beginning to realize what you can achieve. Be bold, be brave, and be good to each other. So once again, my hearty congratulations to all of you who are graduating today. It's a special day. Enjoy yourselves, and thank you.
I call upon Professor Richard Noble, Department of Art, Mr. Matt Ward, Department of Design, Mr. Ian Gardner, Department of Music, Professor Osita Okagbu, Department of Theatre and Performance, and Miss Astrid Schmetterling, Department of Visual Cultures, to present successful students to the college.
Chair, in the name of the University and the Academic Board, I present to you the following members of the College who have been admitted to the degrees of the University. Bachelor of Art in Fine Art, Gary Rutter. Eilid Watson. Bachelor of Fine Art and the History of Art, Sunny Ripley. Tara Aisha Russell. Master of Fine Arts in Curating, Mattia Guisani. Brenda Gwinnett. Nora Hydorn. Eileen Kirsten. Sonoko Nakanishi. Giulia Pistone. Consuelo Polo Guardia. Tanya Rochow. Alexine Rodenhus. Philip Serfati. Kefilo Siwisa. Sorchime Stratlala. Anthony Tremlett. Kirsty White. Master of Fine Arts in Fine Art, Daniel Archon. Austin Danson. Lynn Kouassi. Margrethe Stolen.
Chair, in the name of the University and the Academic Board, I present to you the following members of the College who have been admitted to degrees of the University. Bachelor of Arts in Design, Tanapon Will, Ro Janice Singasawad. Ching Chi Chang. Bachelor of Arts in Design, Creativity and Learning with QTS, Gemma O'Sullivan. Master of Arts in Design and Environment, Maria Rocha. Ling Chi Chen. Yanru Gao. Sheng He. Amelia Evolia. Shirley Lau. Zoe Lester. Valeria Liamina. Vanessa Provin. Hyung Lee Wong. For a Masters of Arts in Design and Innovation, Anna Philippa Brunekant. Xu Min Chan. Yi An Chen. Ai Chen. Maurizio Tommaso. Che Tai Fang. Sun Yung Ha. Ho Hung Hyun. Marcus King. Kexin Lee. Yi Xuan Lin. Yi Lo. Linzik Sun. Quinan Wang. Yi Chi Weng. Celine Yangbasi. Yonka Yusuman. Xiao Yun Shuang. Master of Arts in Design Education, Hannah Clark. Shi Wen He. Fei Fei Mo. Melanie Mortimer. Simone Norman Jones. Kirsty Parry. A Master of Arts in Design Critical Practice, Ingrid Augusta. Xi Ling Chen. Bo Hua Cho. Emma Endersby. Abdullah Elijah Heck. Shin Yu Kim. Yi Xuan Li. Oh, sorry. King Man Lao, sorry. Shi Juan Li, this time. Yu Chen Lin. Yu Yang Meng. Yu Chen Chang. For a Masters of Arts in Fashion, Eleonora Corbenesi. Fabienne Gassman. Anita Gray. Peggy Hessian. Maria Lena Negemeyer. Li Ying Wang. Eve Zohar. Masters of Arts in Design Interaction. Si Fan Chen. Ni Chun Yen. And Zi Mu.
Chair, in the name of the University and the Academic Board, I present to you the following members of the College who have been admitted to degrees of the University. Bachelor of Music in Music, Maria Sintal Behrens. Bachelor of Music in Music Computing, Thomas Levine. Alabo Mukpepel Jaja. Bachelor of Music in Popular Music, Lydia Henrietta Olabisi Luke. Henry Watts. Master of Arts in Music, Contemporary Music Studies, Ilma Wisniau Skaite. Master of Arts in Music, Ethnomusicology, Bruno Rana. Master of Arts in Music, Popular Music Research, Simran Chatter. Carl Emery. Fiamma Mozzetta. Master of Music in Composition, Daniel Wackett. Alistair White. Master of Music in Creative Practice, Hannah Baker. Genevieve Dawson. Shailan Goxil. Eleanor Logan. Stefan Roberts. James Unsworth. Master of Music in Performance, Maria Jimena Abello Marquez. Julie Chang. Master of Music in Performance and Related Studies, Clary Taylor. Master of Music in Popular Music, Jed Flood. Emine Per Hassan. Ocean Roberts. The Department of Music would like to acknowledge Jonathan Davis with a posthumous award, the Master of Music in Popular Music. Jonathan was a bright and wonderful student who tragically passed away earlier this year. In his memory, his family have set up the Jonathan W. Davis Award for an outstanding outgoing student on the Popular Music Masters program. To receive his degree, Jonathan's brother, Gregory. Master of Music in Sonic Arts. Benjamin Dallimore Simons. Filippo Bertetto. James Green. Sebastian Lobers. Elif Echem Oskan. Elizabeth Rainsbury. Brendan Smith.
Chair, in the name of the University and the Academic Board, I present to you the following members of the college who have been admitted to the degree of the university. Bachelor of Arts in Drama and Theatre Arts, Ezra Caracas. Eduardo Minot. Alexandra Proudfoot. Master of Arts in Applied Theatre, Drama in Educational, Community and Social Context, Nicole Banks. Elena Casero Canas. Hannah Coates. Lara Falkenberg. Kezia Gadom. Martha Halima Habil. Grace Evangeline Home. Rachel Kirkham. Toriso Moseneke. Evangelia Despoina Perifanu. Destina. Pooja Sitpura. Jenny Stekone. Master of Arts in Black British Writing, Rebecca Blackwood. Maria Duran Eusebio. Candace Siobhan Walker. Ellis Walker Berger. Master of Arts in Musical Theatre, Jack Godfrey. Alice Rebecca Greening. Rebecca Peacock. Celine Snipe. Jack Stone. Master of Arts in Performance and Culture, Interdisciplinary Perspectives, Kai Hai Lee. Emma Sims. Master of Arts in Performance Making, Imogen Davis. Renata Egidia Novaes de Oliveira. Francisca Eri. Maya Goldstein. Francine Kleeman. Eleanor Catherine Lewis. Jasper Tristan Llewellyn. Martha Llewellyn. Lok Yi Alfina Wu. Master of Arts in World Theatres, Georgia Green. Lina Maria Regal. Master of Arts in Writing for Performance, Amy Dunn. Hugh McCann.
Chair, in the name of the University and the Academic Board, I present to you the following members of the College who've been admitted to degrees of the University. Bachelor of Arts in History of Art, Eleanor Buckley. Anissa Osman. Haley Pullen. Master of Arts in Contemporary Art Theory, Matthew Cahoon. Rola Daniels. Ashia Eastwood. Sarah Asta Eklund. Valeria Freza. Francesca Gallo. Julie Gussens. Bryony James. Yu Yong Kim. Jenna Louise Lockett. Lula Main. Megan Miller. Laura Danielle Morgan. Serena Muscadelli. Jan Philip Newland. Helen O'Malley. Imogen Peroni. Penelope Prince. Yunju Ra. Angelina Ronquina. Grace Ignacia Siwen Ying. Taimin So. Bianca Stopani. Eloisa Travaglini. Lexi Turner. Lucy Ann Wallace. Natse Zavrl. Master of Arts in Research Architecture, Evangelia Argiro. Greg Fraser McLaren. Rosa Regina. Master of Fine Arts in Curating, Caroline Jane Elbaor.
I call upon Ms. Kakle Go Kolaniene Kasupele from the Department of Sociology to speak on behalf of the graduating student body class of 2017.
Chair of the Council, Warden and staff of Goldsmiths, honorable guests, guardians, friends and sponsors, I am honored to stand before you on behalf of all the students graduating today. Members of faculty, parents, lovers, friends and frenemies, fellow graduates, good morning. Well, actually, good afternoon now. I'm truly humbled to stand before you, facing the task of encapsulating the sentiments of my peers. The joy to this honor is made all the sweeter by the fact that I am the embodiment of impossibility. I'm not unique in this. However, to understand my journey is to trace back almost 3 decades to a landlocked country in the south of an Africa told that her time would come. Before we're unleashed upon the world to carry the name of Goldsmiths forward another generation, I feel compelled to call on you to do 3 things: disrupt, destruct, and deconstruct. You can do it, especially if every single time you told somebody what you were studying and where you got the response, yeah, that sounds very Goldsmiths. By simply being here, we set ourselves apart. But these 3 things, I hope, will be what help us grow with and within the communities we go to. So what exactly am I proposing? Disrupt where you're going. While studying, you read books, you observed case studies, and critiqued theories. Each of these acts demanded that you interrupt what you know, your inherited norms, so as to cast a different view of the world. In our future efforts to innovate, we must be willing to disrupt the courses we feel predicated to take, to encourage debates, and be forever dissatisfied with normalcy. Destruct your conceptions of excellence. Deliberate actions are needed to shape a world big enough for our dreams, but not so small that it grants itself limits upon them. You calculated your way through your studies. Yes, I'm talking about the how many hours do I really need to sleep in order to meet that deadline, and the I want to get a summer job and to travel, but my supervisor expects to see a draft of my dissertation. How do I balance my time and money calculations? You need that skill of deliberation for the road forward. And while the first two require outward action and influence, the last requires us to be brave and consistent. Deconstruction needs to become habit. Everything you will venture to build from this point on will become your normal, your safety. But to grow continually, we must brave deconstructing regularly, letting go of what doesn't serve us. Remember, the self in service of the whole. What we've achieved here today is not to be seen as usual. It really does deserve to be celebrated. The impossibilities of being a trans-identifying Black African raised by a single mother, selected for a prestigious scholarship to pursue a master's degree in the UK and then speaking at graduation are not to be downplayed. I know so many stories of people for whom I know so many stories of people for whom, against, if any of this combination of factors was against them, my possibility stands as a triumph over impossibility. I know that the dizzying thrill of this experience will sink in, and we will undoubtedly ask, so what's next? That next requires each of us to embrace our impossibilities and be inspired to learn how best to disrupt, what to disrupt, to destruct, and when to deconstruct for our lives and for the good of the world. To the faculty and support staff who did more than just teach, but facilitated our practical and philosophical growth, showing how Goldsmiths produced Oscar award-winning directors like Steve McQueen, and the co-founder of one of my all-time favorite bands, the Gorillaz, Damon Albarn, and many more. When asked, my fellow alumni in the making said this of the institution: it delivers what it says it will: diverse thinking and ignition for innovation. We were always so cool that we could connect and be more than just academic scholars, rather akin to explorers whose paths met only to diverge or reignite in a cosmic blaze. To the people who helped us access all this wonder, thank you. To the friends pulling all-nighters in the library and proofreading drafts, and the real MVPs who submitted documents on other people's behalf, thank you. Let us never be too busy to catch up for a laugh. And to the parents of all kinds whose faith in us served as a stream where, when we were battered and bruised by academia, we went for respite. May we be today mirrors for you to see what you have achieved. Some of your greatest gifts to the world walk out today as proud graduates of Goldsmiths, a place which has made our lives better so we can make the lives of others better. For all the impossibilities in us, my fellow graduates, I say congratulations. Now let's go out there and show them what we're made of. Thank you.
I call upon the Deputy Warden to present students who have been admitted to research degrees of the university.
Chair, in the name of the University and the Academic Board, I present to you the following members of the College who have been admitted to research degrees of the University. For the degree of Master of Philosophy, from the Department of Visual Cultures, for a thesis entitled The Verb, Noun and Dash of Consciousness on Two Aspects of the Quotidian Condition, Daniel Imre Pavlovitis. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, from the Department of Design, for a thesis entitled Digital Death, The Materiality of Co-Crafted Legacies, Stacey Pizzolidis. From the Department of Music, for a thesis entitled Distillation and Synthesis, Aesthetics and Practice in Rhys Chatham's Music for Electrical Guitar, Paul Gilgan. From the Department of Music, for a thesis entitled The Cadenzas to Beethoven's Piano Concertos, Compositional Processes and Early Performance Traditions, Catherine Mosley. From the Department of Theatre and Performance, for a thesis entitled Audiobooks as Artworks, A Framework for Analysis and Appreciation, David Scheinberg. From the Department of Visual Cultures, for a thesis entitled Unstable Mediation Regarding the United Nations as a Visual Entity, Mafaldo De Mazzo. From the Department of Visual Cultures, for a thesis entitled Radical Bodies in Music Video, Feminism, Queerness and Subversive Performance of Gender, Ryan Donnelly.
Sorry about that. Okay. I call upon Professor Alan Downey, the College Orator, to present for admission to the Honorary Fellowship of Goldsmiths College, Mr. Dennis Bovell.
I present to you Dennis Bovell for admission to the Honorary Fellowship of Goldsmiths, University of London. Singer, songwriter, musician, sound engineer, and record producer. His contribution to the development of British reggae and dub, indeed to British popular music, especially the music of London, can scarcely be overstated. For over 40 years, since the release of the first singles
of the seminal British reggae band Matumbi, he's amassed a huge back catalogue of recorded material, whether under his own name or under pseudonyms such as Blackbeard or Dennis Matumbi. But this barely scratches the surface of his contribution to British popular music. He's worked with a wide range of artists, whether as producer, recording engineer, backing vocalist or bass player, including Marvin Gaye, Iroy, Fela Kuti, Ryuichi Sakamoto, the Boomtown Rats, Dex's Midnight Runners, Edwyn Collins, Alpha Blondy, George Clinton, Madness, Joss Stone, and Boy George. I could mention more. I must mention the significance of his long-standing collaboration with Goldsmiths alumnus and honorary fellow Linton Kwesi Johnson. Dennis is the very first person to offer his views on the BBC 4 Reggae Britannia documentary, in which he later explains that we were more interested in trying to fuse a pop style with a soul style with a reggae beat. A fusion he achieved brilliantly on Janet Kay's Silly Games. He not only wrote and produced the song, but he also composed and played the synthesizer introduction on it, successfully in the process, as he puts it himself, marrying reggae with Afrobeat on the drums. I think if South London had a national anthem, Professor Les Back in the front row there suggests, I think if South London had a national anthem, it would have to be Silly Games. Dennis produced the Slits' first album, Cut, in 1979, the year that Silly Games climbed to number 2 in the pop charts. The following year, 1980, he produced the pop group's groundbreaking album, Why, and was the engineer on the acclaimed Japanese composer Ryuichi Sakamoto's album, B2 Unit, the one that includes the influential track Riot in Lagos, and which, according to some music critics, influenced the development of electro and hip-hop. Around the same time, Dennis composed the movie soundtrack to Babylon, a film about life in Thatcher's Britain, released just before the Brixton riots. To quote Les Back once more, that movie is timeless, an expression of black London experience, but also a wider sense of what London was becoming in the 70s and 80s, and it's about this very area set in New Cross, and it documented the triumphs and hardships of a group of young black people who were running a local sound system, just as Dennis had done as a teenager with Sufferer at the turn of the 1970s. Born in St. Peter, Barbados, Dennis followed his parents to London, and his mother's in the audience, in 1965 when he was 12 years old. While at Spencer Park Comprehensive School for Boys in Wandsworth, he learned skills which would prove to be invaluable in the recording studio, and he also learned to play the guitar. It was the swinging 60s after all, and by the turn of the decade he was playing in bands and immersing himself in London's sound system culture, cutting his teeth as a recording engineer and gaining a reputation as the one person who could capture the reggae sound in England and make it sound like Jamaica. After his band Matumbi supported Bob Marley and the Wailers at Edmonton in 1973, they had a hit with After Tonight, which is still played on continuous rewind in the Revival Hall of Fame and is regarded as a British reggae classic, though I prefer the flip side, the cover of Bob Dylan's Man in Me. Matumbi also entered the pop charts, the UK pop charts in 1979 with another single, Point of View, performing it on top of the pops, but by then Dennis was doing other things. Matumbi had fallen out with Trojan because that record label wanted them to carry on releasing covers rather than their own material, but Matumbi were yet to sign to EMI, so Dennis started playing dub, releasing the album Strictly Dubwise, Iwa Dub, and Dub Conference Winston Edwards and Blackbeard at 10 Downing Street under the pseudonym Blackbeard, because he had a black beard. He also began playing bass rather than lead guitar after hearing John Kapai play. Pi played guitar on Iwa Dub, and on the subsequent Audio Active by Dennis Bovell and the Dub Band, as well as on a series of albums by Linton Kwesi Johnson. Dennis had been collaborating with Linton since being interviewed by him for a BBC programme on reggae. Dread-Beaten Blood by Poet and the Roots, consisting largely of poems published in Linton's 1975 collection of poems of the same title, cut in 3 days, with Dennis's sound engineer and also playing occasional guitar and keyboards, is listed in the Rough Guide Reggae 100 Essential CDs and has been credited with creating the genre dub poetry. In addition to touring around the world with Linton's band, playing to audiences from South Africa to Sweden, from Japan to Poland, Dennis went on to produce and play on a number of his albums in the 1980s. Dennis then has played a crucial part, not only in the development of British reggae, but in the emergence of new genre, maybe subgenre, lovers rock and dub poetry. Throughout the 3 intervening decades, he's continued to release albums under his own name, including Brain Damage, Audio Active, Dub Dem Silly, Tactics, Dub of Ages, all over the world, Dub Dem Silly Volume 2, Yunky Meets Dennis Bovell, Ghosts Outside with Steve Mason, Make It Run, and Dub 4 Days. He continues to produce records for other artists, such as Holly Cook and Prince Fatty, Boy George, Alpha Blondie, and Sparny's Dub Dancers, working on production, engineering, vocals, and instruments. He wrote songs and produced the young London reggae band General Roots, mixed the Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra, and did dub mixes for Arcade Fire, Tammy Crest, Samba Toure, the Stone Foundation, Sade. I could go on. He's also written songs for artists such as Joss Stone and Sade. In January 2011, he presented and performed on the acclaimed BBC series and live show Reggae Britannia. He's still going strong. You may have been lucky enough to see him recently at the Fox and Firkin in Lewisham. Earlier this month, he was at the Sage in Gateshead telling the story in words, film and music of the first 3 decades of reggae in Britain, 60s, 70s, 80s, and its origins in ska and rocksteady, charting with his band and with archived film footage, reggae's importance in African, Caribbean cultural heritage, its place in the social and political context of the time, and how it influenced other music forms and a whole range of British musicians. And in the new year, plug here, he's going to present a series of evenings at the Jazz Cafe called A Brief History of King Tubby with Dennis Bovell. I want to conclude by quoting the words of the former Goldsmiths Professor of Sociology, the author of There Ain't No Black in the Union Jack and Black Atlantic, Professor Paul Gilroy, in the front row, who's come along to see Dennis, who maintains that Dennis has distinguished himself not only as an ambassador and advocate on behalf of reggae music, but as an eloquent representative of London, a spokesman and commentator who has represented the post-Windrush generation of Black Britons with great style and considerable insight. Dennis Bovell, Paul continues, is a living embodiment of the cultural era in which Black Britain came of age. His evident humility means that his many accomplishments have passed largely unacknowledged. It is time for that to change. Well, perhaps Goldsmiths can make its own small contribution to that change. Chair, I present to you Dennis Bovell for admission to the Honorary Fellowship of Goldsmiths, University of London.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I admit you to the Honorary Fellowship of Goldsmiths College.
Good afternoon. afternoon. Distinguished, learned ladies and gentlemen, the students are the future. I was invited to this part of London 40 years ago to become the sound engineer of a recording studio that was operating just a few streets away from here. And the aim of that studio was to provide London with a music that would, sign the record books that we had made that in London. And it was not something that was, coming from abroad, but something that we were creating here. Karen Wheeler of Soul to Soul was 15 years old at the time, and she was a part of the very first record to be released on the Lovers Rock label from here in Brockley that signaled the genre Lovers Rock until Janet Kay came along and sang what is now known as the anthem of Lovers Rock. And it was right here in Brockley that I met John Kapai and Linton Kwesi Johnson, whom I've traveled the world with. I have to say, Beresford and Daphne Headley, my grandparents, my maternal grandparents, will be very proud of this moment because they were both musicians, and it was me tagging along with my granddad to choir practice and watching him assemble the Hallelujah chorus that kind of made me think, I could give this a go. And when I got to London and got immersed in pop music and playing the guitar and trying to prove that, I could emulate Jimi Hendrix, it gave me a kick. So 40 years ago, I'm here being invited to be the sound engineer of the studio, and now 40 years later, I'm here graciously at the invitation of Goldsmiths to receive this accolade. And I have to thank Professors Gilroy and Ware and Bach, and those are my champions, Mimi, my champions who, have made me able to say to Mum, I got one. Thank you.
I declare the ceremony for the presentation of graduates and admissions to Goldsmiths Honorary Fellowships closed. Can you please stand for the procession?